My fear is that he will take the truth to the grave. I don't think he should ever be freed. What he did was unthinkable. Absolutely no forgiveness at all.
In July 2016, the Mail on Sunday revealed that SOHAM child killer Ian Huntley had a secret daughter called Samantha Bryan. Samantha only discovered the appalling truth 4 years earlier when, aged 14, she came across a story about Huntley online, which was accompanied by a picture of herself and her mother. Now Samantha wants to find out what really happened to Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman, the 10-year-old girls her father murdered in 2002, a crime that horrified the nation.
I decided to write to my biological father, Ian Huntley, because it's now been 20 years since his conviction, and I believe that it is time that he finally told us the truth about what happened to Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman. My fear is that he will take the truth to the grave with him. Closure is a big word, but I think in just letting people know what happened might help in some way. I don't think he should ever be freed. What he did was unthinkable, and for that I don't think he deserves to be let out. Absolutely no forgiveness at all. Being Ian Huntley's daughter has impacted my life in many different ways. My childhood was hugely impacted by this. My relationships, work, friendships. I suffered nightmares from when I was young up until this day. You know, I have people shouting at me in the street or confronting me in my workplace about who my father is, or wrongly mistaking my mum for Maxine Carr. It's had a very big impact. I think about what happened to Holly and Jessica far more often than what people would think I do. To not know what really happened, it deeply upsets me, and I can only imagine how not knowing the full truth impacts not just myself but the families as well.
When his case came to trial, Huntley suggested the girls' deaths were accidental. His refusal to tell the truth has left Holly and Jessica's parents in a torment of uncertainty as to what really happened in their daughter's final minutes.
When I was 11, that was when I found out who I thought was my biological father wasn't. My mum sat me down on her bed and explained to me that I had two dads and that my biological father was a bad man, and at the time that was all I was really aware of. I was 14, I believe, when I was sat in class. We was Googling the crime rates in the area, and that's when I saw the article come up. I didn't pay any attention to the article until I saw a very blurred out photo of me and my mum. And straight away I recognised the clothes that we were wearing, and I remember very clearly having that photo taken. And so I left school, I went home and confronted my mum about it, and she told me that that was who my biological father was. If she'd have told me who he was when I was sat on her bed at 11, it would have been far too much for an 11-year-old girl to take in. So I am glad that she tried to keep it as hidden as she could. I mean, obviously the intention was there for her to hide it until I was older than 14. Fate had other ideas. Before it became public knowledge, I'm not too sure how other people found out. I don't know if it was they maybe saw the same photo and recognised me or recognised my mum. The main comment that I used to get was, "The apple doesn't fall far from the tree," which has always cut very deep with me because I am the absolute opposite. There was a point when I was younger where I worried that everyone would think that and I would become isolated. Even with relationships, I've had people leave me and make comments about him and my connection to him. It was hard. I'm still very much trying to process my emotions related to this specifically. I still find it very hard to deal with, and this is also part of the reason that I wrote to him as well, because I feel like I need to fully process this just to move on. I don't want to keep feeling how I'm feeling, so for me it is that closure as well. Dear Ian, I am writing to you to ask if you would consider meeting me. You won't realise this, but things have been very difficult for me through the years because of our connection. I have a lot of questions I want to ask you, as I feel I don't have a true picture of who you are due to things I have been told by others. I'm pleading with you to finally reveal the truth about the murders of Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman. I'd like him to consider meeting me. Obviously, I've written requesting his approval. I believe being sat face to face with him will allow me to fully accept what is and move forward. And I also hope to find out the truth about what really happened and try and give Holly and Jessica's parents that bit of closure as well. I think we all need it. To sit in front of him face to face, I believe, will give me the closure to move on and fully come to terms with who he is, what he's done. And if I can get the truth off him at the same time, I think that'll help a lot more people than just